Hi guys, and welcome to your daily tarot reading for Tuesday the 10th of May 2022. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to use the Shadowscapes Tarot, but I want to use reversals today, so I'm just going to shuffle the cards a bit like this. In terms of the astrology, we have Mercury, the communication planet, going into retrograde today, and it stays in retrograde until the 3rd of June. So if you want a bit more information about that, then please check out the weekly horoscope. I go into a bit more detail there. So let's see what the Shadowscapes Tarot has to say about Tuesday the 10th and what energy you'll be working with. Okay, so I'm just going to put these together and then shuffle them a few more times and pick 3 cards. Let's see. So Tuesday the 10th. First card is the Six of Wands, which is a really good sign because the Six of Wands is triumph, and usually it's King Arthur riding out to find the Holy Grail, and then the scene of the card is when he rides back into town and everyone's cheering him on and he's got the Grail and it's been a big success. So the fact that we've got the Six of Wands here, I feel is a message via the cards that encourage you that this Mercury retrograde can actually serve you in terms of new ideas and pursuing your life purpose and doing something that has no guarantee attached to it. So wands are about fire, life purpose, passion, right? And Mercury retrograde, the opportunity of Mercury retrograde is to go inwards and to see things differently. And here we've even got this little snail thing at the bottom. It's this inward process of seeing the world and the self and the opportunities in it from a different angle, and then having the confidence and the courage to pursue something that interests you and being victorious with it. So if you've been trying to come up with some new ideas or alter the way you operate or work, this card is a real prompt via the cards to say, please try that out. You'll be surprised at how successful you can be during this time. Okay, so next card. We've got Temperance in reverse. Okay, so a lack of balance. That also makes sense. And finally, the Five of Wands in reverse. And that's a good sign because the Five of Wands is about conflict. But it's trivial conflict. And with the card being upside down, it could mean either that the conflict becomes more serious or that you have kind of a conflict-free moment here. So let's see. So the Six of Wands, like I said, it's about setting goals, pursuing those goals, and then achieving them to your surprise as much as everyone else's. So it's something that's really quite a significant undertaking and that could go belly up. But it's something that you pursue because the motivation is really a core part of you. So ask yourself, what is it that I love and adore, but that seems too difficult to manifest in my life? It just seems beyond. Look at those things particularly and re-examine them and see if you get some new ideas which actually prompt you into action and say, well, why don't you try this method? That might actually work. So the Temperance card is the 14th card in the Major Arcana. And by the time you get to Temperance, you realize that you're a spiritual being as well as a human being. And that if you want to have a wonderful experience on this planet, then embracing yourself as this dual being is really important because planet Earth, I always call planet duality. You're a part of the Earth. You know, when we say go out in nature and enjoy the trees and stuff, often we forget that we are part of nature ourselves. So you may think I'm splitting hairs with that, but you know, if you want to get grounded and enjoy the world, yes, it's a good idea to go out in nature and to experience it and how big it all is. But you can get grounded and experience nature by doing yoga and stretching your own muscles. It's the same thing. Anyway, so you are a human being with a spiritual being, kind of a combination of the two. So what have we got here? So we've got all the yellow of the solar plexus chakra, kind of creating a yin-yang symbol with the blue here of spirituality. So that's kind of interesting. Blue is the element of water, that is spirituality and love and connection. Yellow is the, oh, and we've got two birds up here. Yeah, yellow is about your energy, what makes you happy, your inner child. And then we have this angel type of figure, and she's holding this orb which combines both things. So she's kind of the angel responsible for humanity as such. And she's sitting here observing. And usually the temperance card is an angel dipping its toe in the water, and then this path to enlightenment appears. So it's, wow, I've never thought of it like that. That's interesting. So it's kind of like a baptism. By taking your human self and saying, there's more to me than just a flesh and bone, I'm going to be baptized in the sense that I'm going to look into the spiritual world and everything that exists on that level, external to myself. That's when you create this balance. That's when you summon this angel, and that's when you attain real freedom, or at least you're on the right track to achieve enlightenment and to live your best possible life. So we've got this in reverse. The orb is still there, so we've still got the balance between spirituality and the human physical side of things. We don't have this path to enlightenment. So what I'm getting here is that it doesn't really matter. Because if the energy is coming from below or above or the side or left or right, it really makes no difference. I feel that the main message here is that you're incredibly balanced on this day, and that you do have an appreciation for worldly concerns, but also your spiritual nature. And it's that balance, I feel, that unifies you and that allows you to undertake these super difficult endeavors, because you now have all of your power at your disposal, spiritual, physical, everything. And then finally, the five of wands, you can see this kind of fox hunt going on. And that's actually quite an interesting symbol for the five of wands. Usually it's five boys knocking some sticks together, and it's about competition and using your strength and discovering how strong you are. So sometimes through trivial conflict, you can learn something serious about yourself, something significant that you own, or something valuable that exists within you. But the fox hunt is something, in the UK they outlawed that, I think in the early noughts. It's just where, yeah, they but this is foxes, not dogs. Yeah, they chase the foxes with a bunch of dogs. And that's kind of a trivial pursuit in the sense of, oh, let's chase this poor little animal half to death for our amusement. Here we've got a ton of foxes and a rabbit and some other animals, all kind of escaping what seems to be a fire. And it's a mess, and people, or the foxes, are trampling each other, and it's chaos. So this deck talks about this differently. It says that there's a serious problem that everyone's trying to escape from, and they're scrambling, and they're not considering each other, and the strongest are going to get out of this dangerous situation, and the weakest are going to be left behind, and it's each man for themselves. So we've got this guy going the other direction with a wand, and he seems to be the one who's going to solve this problem. So again, a hero in the story. So we've got two heroes. We've got King Arthur and this guy, and then we've got the perfect unity of the way you see yourself. So I guess it's a day for heroics. I guess it's a day for you to exit your comfort zone and to say, I'm going to do something unbelievably amazing that I never thought I could do. And you're going to jump in the fray, go against the grain, and use this magic wand to put out the fire so that other people can calm down. So this card is in reverse too, okay? So we've still got all the foxes, all the mess, but we've got the wand here. So I think that the fact that the card is in reverse means that the conflict isn't going to be as serious. There's no need to escape or to trample all over other people. So the first message is, be considerate of others and even help them if you can, because not everyone may have access to this clarity of being. So you can be the hero by jumping into a situation and supporting others who may not be able to help themselves. And that may be the victory that you achieve. Maybe that you never realized you could be there for other people in a meaningful way and do something that they can't do for themselves. And maybe this is a day where you prove that to yourself, that you have access to skills and talents and abilities and ways of operating which other people may not be privy to. So you could be a hero in that sense. But also, I feel you could be the hero in a situation by creating order in some sort of community, by saying, hey, let's look at the bigger picture here. If we're going to get out of this, all of us, then we're going to have to, I don't know, form an orderly line or whatever it may be. But then finally, I feel also this, especially these two cards, are saying that there's an opportunity here for you to do something that is truly aligned with your life purpose, and that is challenging under normal circumstances, and it's going to be quite easy to attain on this day. And then if we're looking at this card in reverse, it could say that really there aren't major big crises in your life that you need to deal with right now. So you may as well use this time to create a future that you want to move towards. Like, how do you see yourself in 3 months or in 6 months or a year or two? And what is it that you really care about? I don't know if I'm expressing that very well, but you know, we all have hopes and dreams, and we all have things that really work for us. And unfortunately, a lot of us become disconnected from what we really care about through things like trauma and all these other things that can happen to us. But when you get back to this space of balance between what makes me happy here on earth and what makes me happy spiritually, then it becomes a crystal ball. You can see what's going to work for you in future. So you have a head start via this crystal ball. So maybe focus on the 1 or 2 things at most that really motivate you, and see what other options you have to move ahead with those. Number-wise, we've got 14 and 6 is 20. 20 and 5 is 25. 2 and 5 is 7. And 7 in numerology is the mind and creativity. So that's interesting because it brings me back to the Mercury retrograde. By looking at things differently and then allowing yourself to be creative when it comes to finding practical solutions to things that you want to do in future, that's where you really succeed. So allow yourself to think big and to ask yourself what could be, or what's the best thing that I can do in the next 5 years? What would thrill me the most? And see what you get from that. So I hope you have a wonderful day. If you'd like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. On the front page, click on Book Your Reading to audio reading with me. In my personal readings, I use the tarot, astrology, and numerology. I combine all 3, the way I did the cards and the numbers here. And if you have any questions about your life purpose or what's coming up in future, finances, relationships, moving, spiritual development, anything at all really, then please do get in touch with me for a personal reading. If you like this video, then give it a thumbs up. Please hit subscribe and share the video online. Have an amazing day, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.